Parents of Reddit. What are your kids currently attempting to hide from you? The Pez dispensers in his nightstand. He eats them in secret pretty sparingly, so I let it go. He's 6. A 6-year-old with self-control and willpower is pretty impressive. My 6-year-old got out of bed early on Sunday morning to sneak downstairs and steal Monopoly money from the bank in the unfinished game from the night before, which was left out on the table. Politician in the making. When I was in elementary school, my dad always threw all of his spare change into the top drawer of his nightstand. At my school, we had a Fruitopia vending machine. Man, I loved that stuff. I loved it so much. I would sneak 4 quarters out of his change drawer every morning so I could get some with my lunch. I knew he would never notice because there was so much change in there and he never used it. A few years ago, he mentioned in passing that he always made sure there were enough quarters in there for me to take to school. That's real wholesome. He has a crush on the babysitter and tries to draw hearts to give to her. He also proposed. He is 6. My kid is 5. She sneaks food under her blanket, wrapped snacks, for later and is always amazed when I find them. My daughter, who's 9, thinks she's being crafty hiding a book under her pillow to read after bedtime. I've known for about a year and let her have half an hour secret reading time after she goes to bed. Bit harder to know if she's not reading after half an hour now it's summer and she doesn't need to use a lamp. But I can tell if she's turned her lamp off in winter. That's the kind of kid I want to have. They can hide reading books for her as long as they want to. My 4-year-old son just asked me how many coins I had on my desk. I said I didn't know. He said he counted 6. Reversed psychology here, everyone. When my son was 5, he stashed a bunch of blueberries under his pillow for later. Problem is, not only did they get squished night 1, but he forgot about them until we changed his sheets a few days later. Ugh. Death. That they are not tired. Despite the usual crying and making you feel terrible until they shut their eyes and 30 seconds later asleep. Parenting's a effing whirlwind of emotions. Not a parent, but my younger brother, he's 14, has a school business where he rents out school uniforms. He made like $300 in the last semester. My sons are nearly 7 and 8 and they always get up around 3 AM. Get in the cupboard, eat all the snacks, leave the wrappers in their room on the floor, and try to hide it by exclaiming they have no idea how the wrappers got there. Granola bars, fruit bites, etc. They've even gone as far as to blame me for it. Are you sure you didn't just drop your wrapper when you came in here, Mom? We ended up resorting to getting a cam that I sit on my desk at night, so if they do this I can show them video proof that they got up and went into the kitchen. LMAO. We've also stopped buying fun snacks for the time being and they get whole fruits and veggies only. My 6-year-old is gobsmacked that I know about the rolling around on the floor instead of schoolwork. No idea the teacher can reach me anytime. About the rolling around on the floor. Your kid is a yellow lab? My kid Noah, 15, is trying to hide the fact that he's found a girlfriend. He thinks he's really smart by just saying he's going out to get food every now and then. But it's so easy to tell that he's going to see someone. Also, his girlfriend snitched on him. She told us that she liked him. My GF's roommate worked for my mother. Very small business and just a summer job at like 15. Secret didn't last. To all the teenagers on here, your parents know more than you think and are also more ignorant than you think. The trick is, you won't know in which areas until they tell you. Usually years later. I dropped some classes a few years ago and would still pretend to go. Just sort of hanging around town to keep my parents thinking I was enrolled. On one skit day, I was window shopping in my hometown when I see my dad walking towards me from down the street. I thought the jig was up, so I kept walking towards him. And he passes me by before I can even say anything. Deadass just doesn't me even though I'm within arm's length. I thought he wanted to pretend it didn't happen or something. But when I told him I saw him on the street later that night, he asked why I didn't say hello. Our son, 9, is taking his marbles to school and screwing other kids out of their marbles. He's got a real hustle going on there. He's not allowed to take any toys to school. Hence why he's hiding it. I checked his school backpack and found probably a kilogram worth of marbles in there. We are having a talk this afternoon. Will the talk involve increase your profit margins, choose your clientele, become exclusive, do less work but for higher returns? Because it definitely should. No kid should have to lug a kilo of marbles about. Conversation with daughter. Okay. So while I was changing your sister, did you finish dinner? Yes, daddy. All of it? Yes. So if I look in the garbage can, I'm not going to find any of your dinner in there? Silence. I flushed food I didn't like down the toilet. Almost every poop she does in her nappy. We are potty training. It's not going great. My 2.5-year-old daughter hides every time she poops. She starts by asking, am I wearing a diaper? Then she loudly announces that she's going to hide over there. If I ask her if she's pooping, she screams at me, don't say those words. I'm just hiding. The mother of my cousin thinks he smokes weed because one day he came back home with red eyes. He told me it was just pollen because he is allergic, hahaha. For the record, he is the most innocent kid I know. He is 14 and he is very pure. He would probably be scared to see a blunt, haha. My 16-year-old had a box of condoms with a price sticker from the dollar store in his backpack. He left it on my passenger seat and they fell out while I was shifting it to the back seat. I went and bought him a better brand and replaced them. We have never discussed it. Intelligence. I don't know where they're hiding it, and I can't find it. My parents can relate. Himself. It's nearly bedtime. 2-year-old thinks I'll forget to put him to bed if he runs into another room for 30 seconds. My 4-year-old son is currently trying to hide that he pees his bed. His dad questioned him the other morning asking if he did and he said no. Even though we were holding his wet pants. When we asked whose pants they were, he said mommy's. We asked again if he peed his bed and he said no, mommy did it. Little bastard. Well, mommy, why are you pissing on his bed? Where her dad's watches. I know where she hides it. And I've seen her wear it pretending to be him. It's so cute. I won't tell my husband though. My almost 2-year-old has started telling me crazy stories as if they are real. He recently told me that our dog rides a motorcycle to go play with her friends. I hope you play along with it. My effing dishes plates. They sneak food up to their rooms so they can game digest at the same time but forget to bring the dishes downstairs. When I get in a hissy fit because I have to make my sandwich on a Tupperware lid. They swear they have not used any plate, but when I enter my kitchen later, a wonky tower of china looms in my sink for me to Jenga wash. Arg. Make them wash that or buy your own plates just for you. And eventually they will have to learn to wash them because they are out of their own plates. Girlfriend's kids, 20 and 17, like to go work on the car together in the detached garage. Late at night. Yeah, pretty sure they're smoking weed. She likes to make them awkward by asking what they're up to. We see the 3-foot bong, you guys. That first half had me worried as hell. I'm glad it's just weed. My 12M son went on a double date. My husband happened to be driving through town and saw the 4 of them together. I asked him and he said they happened to be going to the same place. The mother of the other boy had the scoop and filled me in. I let my son know that he shouldn't lie to me and it is perfectly fine for him to be going on a double date. He apparently paid for the fries. I offered to drive him and the other somewhere if they wanted to go again. In high school, my girlfriend's middle school aged brother would walk to the bathroom next to the living room where the rest of us were and sniffle and announce, "Oh man, my nose is really runny today," and grab some tissues to take to his room. What a wanker. He humps pillows while naked. Future weeb in the making. She's slowly been collecting pens and hiding them in her toys. So far, no coloring outside of paper and coloring books. Though. So I'm letting her get away with it. My 6-year-old son poops in the backyard every morning and blames it on the dog. My ex-girlfriend, at age 4, wanted to be a dog when she grew up. She spent about 9 months exclusively shitting in the backyard. Her mum would dig her holes and really enabled the whole thing. Until her dad had had enough and put an end to it. My 13-year-old daughter keeps her electric toothbrush in the shower with the gum massage head attached. She thinks I'm really dumb. Fortunately my teenager, 16, going on 17, doesn't try to hide much from me. She's a terrible liar and gets busted right away every time. So she just casually admits stuff these days. It's pretty great. However, she's been sneaking her boyfriend over to the house during the day while I'm at work and thinks I'm clueless. Girl, I know you eat a lot. But there's no way you're going through half a loaf of bread by yourself in one day. You also left his glass of water on the coffee table. IDK man. I feel like I could eat half a loaf of bread by myself. Mine doesn't try to hide anything. He's a year and a half old. He just grabs things he isn't supposed to and runs away yelling. Run 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 run. My 8-year-old daughter had a friend over for a slumber party. The girl that stayed over for the night was 8 years old as well. I heard the kid whisper to my daughter, "I know something fun we can watch on your iPad." So my daughter came downstairs and asked if she could take her iPad upstairs. I said sure. Later I saw that they were looking at fake taxi clips on YouTube. The following day when the kid left I sat my kid down and had the talk about the birds and the bees. She said she didn't want to watch those kind of clips but her friend had an older sister who showed it to her so she wanted to show my daughter. I told her there is nothing wrong with watching those clips. But maybe it was a good idea to wait till you're a bit older. My daughter and her friend had a good laugh but never looked at it again thankfully. Now they're back to watching TikTok and other age appropriate stuff. I blocked the 18+ stuff now till she's a lot older. She wasn't really hiding this GBH. I'm always very open-minded and she can talk to me about everything. I have been a kid as well so I'm not going to give her a hard time on things I did as well. Hopefully she will always come to me about stuff and only hide small things. His weed. He thinks I believe he's so innocent. But he doesn't realize that I've been dipping into his stash occasionally when I run dry. I consider it the parental tax for not telling his mother. Mom. You'll never guess what I was hiding from you 20 years ago. My son is 8 and he is masturbating to Pokemons. A man of culture. Not a parent. But my parents think I'm hiding a girlfriend. OHH self-burn. Those are rare. Not a parent. But my story. I was on a cruise ship when I was 15 and I paid some dude to buy my friends and I a couple small bottles of alcohol. My dad came down the hall as I came out of the room when I had one in my hand. I thought I got it in my pocket fast enough but turns out he saw and never said anything until just recently. I'm 22 and he never said a thing. My mom did something similar. She found out I was drinking occasionally when I was 16 but never said anything. On my 18th birthday, legal drinking age here, she got us some whiskey. I tried to play it like it burnt or that it was hard to get down. She immediately went, "I already know you can chug the bottle in one go if you wanted." That they poopied. Love. Did you poop? With a rather fragrant diaper, and a deadpan expression no. I'm interested to know what my parents know I'm hiding from them. Here's an upvote. That's why I asked.